Wind howling down these canyons, dry as a bone in my throat. Another sunrise bleeding red, no promise in its glow. Yeah, promises, they break easy, like sun-baked earth. Love's a hard wind blowing, hard wind blowing through me. Takes what it wants, leaves just us. Love's a hard wind blowing, hard wind blowing free. Remember her laugh, a river, cool water on my face. Now just a cracked, dry riverbed, no comfort, no trace. Just echoes, empty echoes in this hollow space. Love's a hard wind blowing, hard wind blowing through me. Takes what it wants, leaves just us. Love's a hard wind blowing, hard wind blowing free. You were standing by the snow cone sign, July sun in your hair, melting time. I was all dust boots and busted pride, a truck full of doubts trying hard to hide. You laughed at the stain on my old white tee, said that looks like trouble found a home in you and me. I said, girl, I'm a mess and a half, that's true. You said, good, I need a mess to see me through. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, head on my chest, stars in your eyes. Radio low, world driving by, but it all fades out when you pull me tight. If this is all I ever get from life, your hand in mine on a Tuesday night, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow, slow dance in a dirt road sky. First fight came on a cold fall day. You packed a bag, said, boy, I might just walk away. I watched your taillights shake my faith, sat in that driveway praying you'd hit the brakes. Phone lit up with your name half gone. You said, I'm at our spot, can we talk till dawn? I brought a blanket and a heart laid bare. You brought that stubborn hope, that crooked prayer. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, breath hanging, wide eyes red from crime. We argued soft, then we both went quiet. Then you leaned in close, said, baby, let's try it. If this is all I ever get from place I wore borrowed time. Your daddy shook my hand just once, said, son, don't you dare let this girl give up. Tiny kitchen with a leaking sink, bills stacking up faster than we could think. But you turned cheap wine into holy ground, bare feet, big grin, spinning me around. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, tile floor cold, but your love runs high. Ceiling fan hum like a lullaby. You whisper, baby, we'll be alright. If this is all I ever get from life, your lipstick on my coffee side, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow dance in a dirt road sky. Years slid by like rain down glass. Some dreams came, some dreams just passed. You wanted kids, I was scared to try. Said, what if I fail? You said, then we'll fly. First sun came in a midnight storm. You squeezed my hand till my faith felt torn. Doc held them up, I forgot my name, till you smiled, said, honey, he's got your ways. Slow dance in a dirt road sky, hospital room, fluorescent light. We rocked that boy, sang off-key lines of every old hymn we could find. If this is all I ever get from life, your tired eyes and that baby's cry, I'll thank the Lord till the day I die for a slow dance in a dirt road sky. Baseball games and broken bones, homework spread on the kitchen phone. You in sweats, hair pinned high, still the same girl from that county line. We missed some dates, we burned some toast. We kept on loving when we liked each other least and most. You'd fall asleep with the TV on, I'd mute the world just to hear you yawn. Tell me, how did a fool like me end up where your soft heart sleeps through every wrong turn, every lost sign? Somehow your hand kept finding. Bet you're leaning on a rusted Ford, boot heel tapping on a 2x4. Sun going down in a blaze out west, laugh on your lips, dust on your dress. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. Windows down, your hand in mine, old tapeits and a crack brake line. If this is love, I don't wanna land, just circle this town in a beat up van. You and me chasing tailgate constellations out past every old frustration. You drew a heart in the county fair dust, said it ain't much, but it's enough. We shared fries in a paper cup shake, kissed so hard that the world got laid. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. Windows down, your hand in mine, old tapeits and a crack brake light. If this is love, I don't wanna land, just circle this town in a beat up van. You and me chasing tailgate constellations out past every old frustration. One day we'll trade this busted bed for a creaking porch and a roof instead. But keep that wild in your eyes, my friend. Oh yeah, we'll still get lost on a dead end bend. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. Windows down, your hand in mine, old tapeits and a crack brake light. If this is love, I don't wanna land, just circle this town in a beat up van. You and me chasing tailgate constellation. You and me chasing tailgate constellations. Hey! Smokes dance in the window light across the worn-out kitchen floor. Another Tuesday, another night, just like 100 nights before. The kettle whistles soft and low, a comfort in the quiet air. A faded photograph, you know, is resting on the armchair there. It's you and me that summer day, down by the creek beneath the willow tree. Your grin was wide, you looked my way, as happy as a soul could be. I just caught a bluegill on the line. You swore it was the biggest one you'd seen. My hair was long, your hand in mine, a perfect sun-drenched youthful scene. We hadn't much, just hope and dreams, a leaky roof, a rusty Ford, but richer than a king it seems. With every single word you poured into my ear, your whispered plans of children, chickens and a little farm held tight within your calloused hands. We'd weather every coming storm. I trace the crease right through your face, where time has bent the paper thin. A silent tear finds its own space and slowly starts to trickle in. It blurs the edges just a bit, like memory does with passing years, but can't erase the joy, the grit, the laughter and the shared out tears. Oh, faded photograph, it's all I've got to hold you close, though you're long gone. A silent promise, never forgot, it keeps me strong from dusk till dawn. This faded photograph, it tells our tale of simple love through thick and thin, against the wind, through sun and hail. It's where our forever still begins. The scent of pine, the smell of rain still brings your presence to my mind. A familiar ache, a gentle pain, a love like ours is hard to find. I hear your boots upon the porch, even though the steps are empty now. A phantom warmth, a flickering torch, illuminating how and when and why and why. Dust on your boots on my front porch, coffee in your hand, half asleep. Said I didn't plan on falling this deep. You laughed it off, kicked at a stone. Said guess I'm better when I'm not alone. I tried to speak, but my tongue got tied, 'cause every road I'd run just stopped and your eyes were running on a half tank. Full hard windows down in the dark, singing every crooked mile into the stars. If the highway ends, we'll park on the shoulder of the sky. If it all falls apart, I still got your hand on my arm. Half tank, full heart. We got bills stacked up on the counter there. You're wearing my flannel, sitting in my chair, circling dates on an old wall chart, talking about someday like it's not that far. You say love ain't magic, it's mud and rain. It's late night fights are staying anyway. I kiss your wrist where the paint's still wet from fixing this house we ain't finished yet. We're running on a half tank, full hard windows down in the dark, singing every crooked mile into the stars. If the highway ends, we'll park on the shoulder of the sky. If it all falls apart, I still got your hand on my arm. Half tank, full heart. Your mama called, said she's doing fine, told you she can hear you in my laugh sometimes. Your daddy still checks on the weather up here, thinks that we're living off luck and beer. We missed that rent check by day last June. You cried in the kitchen, I hummed a tune. We danced between dishes and overdue cards. Your cheek on my chest, my fear in your arms. We're running on a half tank, full hard windows down in the dark, singing every crooked mile into the stars. If the highway ends, we'll park on the shoulder of the sky. If it all falls apart, I still got your hand on my arm. Half tank, yeah, that's all we are. Maybe we don't get that big red barn, white fence, big dogs, 10-acre yard. Maybe our castle is this broke down yard, 2 long chairs and a sky full of sparks. Maybe forever is a borrowed truck, a Friday paycheck and a little luck. If I lose it all, but I don't lose you, I'm rich in a way money can't undo. Oh yeah, there's a Polaroid stuck in the mirror frame. Your hair's all wild, we're both half insane. Caught in the rain by the county line, you wrote on the bottom, glad you're mine. We've changed our plans more than I can count. Dreams got smaller, love got loud. We don't say perfect, we say try. We don't say always, we say stand by. We're running on a half tank, full hard windows down in the dark, singing every crooked mile into the stars. If the highway ends, we'll park on the shoulder of the sky. If it all falls apart, I still got your hand on my arm. Half tank, full heart. Someday we'll be gray on a Sunday swing, talking about the mess and the joy it brings. Your laugh will be softer, my back will be sore, but I'll still be reaching for you by the door. Kids all grown, chasing what they want, we'll sit in that quiet that used to haunt. You'll look at me with that same old spark, say guess we did alright with this half tank heart. We're running on a half tank, full hard windows down in the dark, singing every up late to your sister's wedding, hair pinned up with a pencil you found, boots in your hand, heels in your purse, laughing too loud, spinning around. You said these boots ain't even mine, I just kinda borrowed their shine. I thought if that's how you treat a living, how you gonna handle a heart like mine? But you took my hand like Sunday morning, soft and sure and a little shy. You said, I don't dance but I'll try for you under those cheap string lights. Now every step's a small forever, every song keeps turning into one more try. I guess I was wrong about borrowed boots, 'cause you've been walking with me all this time. Summer rolled in on a rusted Chevy, you pulled up, radio stuck on one song, window stuck too, so you had to shout, get in, this drive won't be long. We got lost twice past Miller's pasture, gravel popping, fireflies in flight. You pointed out every house you wanted, I just watched your face in the porch light. You took my doubts like Sunday laundry, hung them out in the open sky. You said, let the wind say what it wants to, we just watch those minutes drive. Now every mile's a soft confession, every back road turns into a sign. Guess I was wrong about borrowed time, 'cause you make every second feel like mine. Your mama cried when the dog got older, you held her hand on the kitchen floor. I fixed the screen that kept on sticking, you whispered thank you and nothing more. Later that night in the driveway gravel, you kicked a stone, tried not to tear up, said I'm scared of losing folks I'm loving. I said darling, we're just filling up. You took my feel like black coffee, poured it out, filled my cup with light. You said we can't keep anything forever, but we can hold on to tonight. Now every ache's a kind of blessing, every crack lets me see your fight. Guess I was wrong about breaking both things, you turned my pieces into something right. We've had slam doors, late night phone calls, rain in the bedroom where the roof leaked through. We've had birthdays I almost ruined, saying the wrong thing at the worst time too. But somehow you keep choosing this crooked road with all its signs. You keep showing up in borrowed boots, and somehow they fit just fine on you. So take my name like Sunday letters, written slow on a back porch line. You said I ain't perfect but I'm trying, I said perfect never crossed my mind. Now every scar's a secret language, every laugh's a little proof we survived. Guess I was wrong about stories ended, 'cause ours keeps adding one more line. We got a place with a leaning mailbox, paint flakes off when the seasons change. You plant flowers in crooked circles, say I like 'em wild, can't keep 'em tame. There's a dent in the fridge from moving day where we dropped it and almost cried. Now it's our favorite stupid memory of how we learn as we collide. You take my days like Polaroids, baby, shaking color into every frame. You said we're gonna age, might as well enjoy it, laugh at each wrinkle, each middle name. Now every dish in the sink is a promise, every mess that we make feels like a sign. Guess I was wrong about picture perfect, I just want your chaos tangled with mine. Storm came through on a Monday evening, lightning walking across the field. Power went out, you found some candles, said guess our plans are kinda sealed. We played cards till the deck got tired, told old stories in that waxy glow. You traced a heart on the dusty table, whispered there's something you should know. You took my breath like sudden thunder, held it close and let it go slow. You said if you aim, you out on there, enjoy it, laugh at each wrinkle, each middle name. Now every dish in the sink is a promise, every mess that we make feels like a sign. Guess I was wrong about picture perfect, I just want your chaos tangled with mine.
Coffee cup on the counter, lipstick stain from last July. Sun sleeps through the curtain, dust just dances in the light. Your sweater on the chair back, one sleeve hanging to the floor. Funny how the little things still wait for you at my door. And I'm still in love with you. Same old song, same old boots. Every road I walk on through somehow leads me back to you. I tried to move on, tried this town, but every street just circles around. To a front porch, to that sundress, to the way your name still sounds. I still park in the same spot underneath that busted sign, where you laughed about the letters, swore they'd fall on us in time. We grabbed fries from Mickey's Diner, drive out where the blacktop ends, watch the headlights disappear, talk like we were more than friends. As I'm still in love with you, same old song, same worn boots. Every road I walk on somehow leads me back to you. I tried to move on, tried this town, but every street just circles around. To a bonfire, to your soft hands, to the way your name still sounds. Oh. Mama still says she sees me buying gas out Highway 10. She just smiles and says, you know, son, she talks about you now and then. I just nod and change the subject, talk about weather, talk about rain. But when I'm driving home alone, every drop spills out your name. Tell me, do you still remember a September county fair? You got stuck up on the Ferris wheel when time bone in your hair. 'Cause I'm still in love with you. Same blue eyes, same old truth. Everything I'm walking through feels like it was meant for two. I try to move on, drive this town, but every turn just doubles down on that gravel road, on that first kiss, on the way your name still sounds. I heard you got that big job, 2 states and a world away. You always said you chased those dreams. I always hoped that I'd still stay. Baby, that's why I'm standing in this quiet kitchen now, talking to your photograph like you're gonna turn around. If I called you up this evening, would you let it ring? Would pick it up? Would you say you're doing fine now? Would you say you'll miss my tub, miss my dog straps in your front door, your bags brought on asleep, you said I still keep your favorite liquor stacked up by the TV stand. Sometimes I let that needle ride, pretend you're dancing with my hand. Bare feet on these old floorboards, you'd spin and crash into my chest, laughing like the world was small and we already had the best. 'Cause I'm still in love with you, more than ever, more than you. Every scar and every bruise just ties me tighter to that truth. I try to move on, drive this town, but every drink just wears me down to that soft smile, to that soft sound of the way your name still sounds. Yes, I'm still in love with you. Yes, I'm still in love with you.
Sun coming up on your old screen door, coffee in your cup, bare feet on my floor. You laugh at my hair, say I sleep too late, but you still kiss my cheek, say we're gonna be great. Your suitcase sat there by that crooked chair. I memorized every thread, every scar, every tear, till the day it was gone and you backed down the drive, and the dust from your tires took the light from my eyes. But you came back anyway, pulled in slow like a prayer. I forgot how to pray all night. I'm fine, fell apart in your name. Every mile you drove washed away my blame. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you turned that wheel and you changed our fate, baby. I pushed your heart away and you came back anyway. I remember rain on that dining room. You stared at your hand, said you wanted the truth. I hid behind pride like a worn-out shield, too scared of the hurt that you made me feel. You circled your finger around your paper cup, said I can't keep falling just to watch you get up. I watched you walk out through that glass and chrome, and I called that night freedom, but it felt like alone. Still you came back anyway, like a song on the wind. I once threw away all my goodbyes, all my burning bridges turned into smoke and second chances. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you turned that wheel and you changed our fate, baby. I pushed your heart away and you came back anyway. There were late night bars, there were strangers' names, too loud rooms trying to drown out your flame. I laughed too hard at somebody's joke, but the quiet walk home told the truth that I spoke. I kept your note in my glove box door, folded and worn like a prayer from the war. Love isn't easy, but it's worth the scars. If you ever get brave, you know where we
shame in the dashboard light, till one small town sign and a midnight sky made me finally drop my pride. So you came back anyway, but not 'cause I begged, not 'cause I made you stay. You came back strong, you came back sure. Said I want your heart, but I need it pure. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you stood right there at my front gate, baby. I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. You said I don't need perfect, I just need honest. I don't want promises if you can't keep them. But if you're still in this, if you still want us, take off your armor, let me see you bleed, then heal. So I told you about the nights that I got it wrong, all the times I left when I should have held on. Told you about my father and his slam screen doors, how I learned to run long before I learned more. You didn't flinch, didn't turn your head, just traced every crack in the words I said. You took my hand like you always had, said we can grow good from whatever's been bad, and you stayed here anyway. Even when the storm rolled in and the sky turned gray, through every fight, every bitter word, every slam down phone, every hope deferred. I swore I'd lose you, swore you'd drive away, but you packed your faith for another day, baby. I pushed your heart away, and you stayed here anyway. There's a porch swing squeak to our everyday, half-finished projects in the yard halfway, burnt toast mornings and lawn chairs at night. We're a little bit crooked, but we're holding on tight. There's a dent in your sunrise burning through the grime. Another day, another dollar wasted time. Same old street, same old sign. Nothing changes, nothing moves on this assembly line.
My heart's a wrenched, turning slow, rust on the gears, nowhere to go. But then you walked in, a flicker, a spark, a new spin.
Oh, this rust belt heartbreak, yeah, this rust belt heartbreak, tearing me down, building me up, for goodness sake. This rust belt heartbreak,
Oh, this rust belt heartbreak,
breaking the mold, for love's sweet sake.
smokestacks coughing out the night, shadows dancing in the pale moonlight. Every promise, every fight felt like giving up on what was wrong or right. My spirit, a busted fuse, nothing left to gain, nothing left to lose. But then your eyes met mine,
A whiskey sunrise, a perfect sign. Oh, this rust belt heartbreak, yeah, this rust belt heartbreak,
east of Buster County line. You were stealing cherries from the back of someone's vine. Dust on your boots, laugh lines in your smile. Said you wanna see trouble, ride with me a while. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. You talk with your hands when you're mad, you pace the floor, you slam the screen door cussing, then come kiss me at the door. Yeah, you burn every dinner, we just laugh and call it fate. Say, who needs a recipe when love still fills the plate? You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. We got a crooked mailbox leaning like it knows our names, a dog that won't stop barking at the kids at ball games. You leave notes on napkins in my worn-out work truck cab. Drive safe, come home, you're still the best I ever had. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. One day we'll be wrinkled, moving slow across this floor, counting all the little rings from glasses on this table board. If my memory fades and the names all slip away, I'll still know that rhythm that's been drumming every day. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. So when they lay me down under red dirt, under sky, play that simple song of us, let it echo, let it ride. Cause love ain't in the headstones, it's the echo in your chest. You're my back road heartbeat, baby, you can keep the rest. Oh yeah. Met you in a bar off Highway 9. You were laughing at the jukebox, skipping every line. Boot heel tapping, blue eyes sharp. You drew your name in the ring on the bar. Said you look lost, but you look sure. I said I ain't cured, but I've seen worse. You stole my cab, said drive me home. That old Ford road like it wasn't alone. I got your back roads on my heart, got your lipstick in my truck. Every mile I drive from you, it just tightens up the clutch. You're the long way I keep taking, you're the song I can't restart. I got your back roads paved across my heart. Oh yeah. Threw that map out the window fast, followed fence posts, chasing cattle and grass, radio buzzing some worn out tune, but you were humming something brand new. Dust in your hair, sun on your arm, bare feet up on my dashboard charm. You said, promise me just one thing, if this breaks, we still let it sting. I got your back roads on my heart, got your laughter in my lungs. Every time I try to leave, I taste your name on my tongue. You're the long way I keep taking, you're the stop I never mark. I got your back roads, burned into my heart. Your mama watched me like a silent judge on that porch with her coffee mug, but your little brother liked my hat, dog liked me too, so that was that. We talk about kids in a little white place. You traced floor plans on my calloused hands. You said, don't you dare become your dad. I said, I'll spend my life proving I'm not that man. I got your back roads on my heart, got your jacket on my chair. Every empty Sunday morning, you're the ghost that's sitting there. You're the long way I keep taking, you're the mark on every chart. I got your back roads, driving through my heart. Hey! One late fall, leaves all rust, you packed dreams in the back of my truck. Said there's a job 3 counties away, will you hate me if I can't stay? I clenched my jaw, tried to act tough, but every brave word just wasn't enough. You kissed my chin, missed my mouth, said if it's real, it'll find its route. Now it's coffee for one at that same old bar. Your laugh lives on in the corner by the jar. I talk too loud, so I don't think I chew my pride like tobacco and drink. Folks say, son, let it go, but you're stitched in every shirt I own. You're the way my hand hangs on the wheel, that little pause before I peel. I drive past that job sign twice a week, practice speeches I'll never speak. Baby, I'm better, I ain't so scared, but I turn around halfway there. I got your back roads on my heart, got your thunder in my chest. Every girl that learns my name just gets your second-hand best. You're the long way I keep taking, you're the scar dressed up as art. I got your back roads, winding through my heart, winding. Time moves on like a cattle train, new paint signs, same old rain. Heard you married some steady hand, a quiet guy, a safer plan. I ain't bitter, I ain't mad, just a little more like my old man. Talk big talk, sleep alone, leave the light on like you're coming home. If loving you was wrong, then wrong felt right. If losing you was mercy, why's it haunt my nights? If I had one more. met you by the ice machine. July heat, dust on my jeans. You laughed at my hometown shirt. Said, you boys ever leave this dirt? I said, sometimes I drive too far. Turn this county into my backyard. You hop right up in my truck. Kicked off boots, said, turn it up. We got back road hearts on fire, old souls tangled in barbed wire, kissing like we're gonna disappear. Every mile pulling you near. You're my wild, my worn out tie, my church pew, my front porch choir. If this whole world goes dark tonight, we'll still burn. Burn! Back road hearts on fire. We skipped stones off the reservoir, shared secrets underneath the stars. You traced scars on my left arm, said who hurt you, I won't, I swear. I told stories I never told about a ring and a promise gone cold. You just squeezed my calloused hand, said boy I ain't her, I understand. We got back road hearts on fire, old souls tangled in barbed wire, kissing like we're gonna disappear. Every mile pulling you near. You're my wild, my worn out tie, my church pew, my front porch choir. If this whole world goes dark tonight, we'll still burn. Burn! Back road hearts on fire. Your mama said I drove too fast. Your daddy swore we'd never last. I mowed his yard from June to fall. Now he calls me son in the church hall. We found a house with a crooked gate, leaky roof but the bones were great. Painted rooms with a radio low, dancing barefoot on the plywood floor. Who knew hammered nails and grocery runs could feel like fireworks and smoking guns? Who knew Sunday bills and Monday chores could sound like you humming by the screen door? We got back road hearts on fire, old souls tangled in barbed wire, fighting over nothing, making up two cracked mugs, one coffee cup. You're my wild, my worn out tie, my storm sky, my small town choir. If this whole world goes dark tonight, we'll still burn. Burn! Back road hearts on fire. We learned love ain't all moonlight, it's morning breath and late night fights. You slamming doors, me cutting grass, cooling down and crawling back. Your tears soaking my old flannel, my pride stuck on every channel. You talk me, saying fine to fine turned into I'm on your side. All these almost broken bent up days, somehow shaped the vows we made. Every silence, every shout teaches us what love's about. We got back road hearts on fire, old souls tangled in barbed wire, crying in the kitchen holding on, one small flame till the dark is gone. You're my wild, my worn out tie, my rough edge and my tender wire. If this old world goes dark tonight, we'll still burn. Burn! Back road hearts on fire. Back road hearts on fire. We'll get old, you know we will. Wrinkled hands on the same old hill, watching grandkids chase the light as the day runs out of sky. You still steal all the covers, still roll your eyes at my jokes. Will we still dance slow in the hallway to songs only we know? If your memory ever fades, I retell every single day how you met me by that ice machine, how we turned this gravel into a dream. Oh yeah. We got back road hearts on fire, old souls tangled in barbed wire. From first hello to last goodbye, we'll ride it out, you and I. You're my wild, my worn out tie, my last match, my sweetest choir. If this whole world goes dark tonight, we'll still by the ice chest, dirt road, late July. Truck bed full of half-warm beer, sun still in your eye. You laughed at my old ball cap, said it's seen some miles. I said I'd drive you anywhere just to see that smile. We got a tailgate to the stars, 2 hearts and 1 old car. Love in a mason jar, shaking in the dark. We got grass on our jeans, and sweet on your lips. Gasoline who needs a map when I got your hand, baby. That's all I understand. Just you and me and this beat up heart. Tailgate to the stars. Your boots on my dashboard, bare feet by the fall. That creek below the cottonwoods heard every secret, every call. You traced my name in red dust on that silver Chevy Dorset. If this is what bro looks like, I don't want perfect anymore. We got a tailgate to the stars, 2 hearts and 1 old car. Love in a mason jar, shaking in the dark. We got grass on our jeans, sweet on your lips. Gasoline who needs a map when I got your hand, baby. That's all I understand. Just you and me and this beat up heart. Tailgate to the stars. We learned how to fight soft, turn thunder into rain. You cried in my blue work shirt, mascara on the grain. Kitchen light at midnight, cold coffee, warm regret. I said, I ain't going anywhere. You said you better not forget. We got a tailgate to the stars, 2 hearts and 1 old car. Love in a mason jar, shaking in the dark. We got grass on our jeans, sweet on your lips. Gasoline who needs a map when I got your hand, baby. That's all I understand. Just you and me and this beat up heart. Tailgate to the stars. We stacked up years like firewood, winters worn out springs. Paid our dues in overtime and chipped off wedding rings. You danced in that same ball cap on a Tuesday in a room. Kids asleep and dishes stacked, still spinning like it's June. We got a tailgate to the stars, 2 hearts and 1 old car. Love in a mason jar, shaking in the dark. We got grass on our jeans, sweet on your lips. Gasoline who needs a map when I got your hand, baby. That's all I understand. Just you and me and this beat up heart. Tailgate to the stars. One day they'll sell that Chevy to some kid down the road. He'll crank up some new love song where our old stories roll. They'll never know our names, but they'll park where we once parked, where we promised forever under that big breathing dog. Yeah, forever. If the good Lord flips the porch light, calls one of us on home, promise me you'll keep my hat right there by the phone. And when that first storm hits you and you're standing in the yard, look up where we used to look. I won't be very far. We got a tailgate to the stars, 2 hearts and 1 old car. Love in a mason jar, shaking in the dark. We got grass on our jeans, sweet on your lips. Gasoline who needs a map when I got your hand, baby. That's all I understand. Just you and me in this beat up heart. Tailgate to the
pouring cheap beer in a hole in my wall. Saturday tips in a crooked glass jar. I was 3 long days and from an overtime week. Dust on my boots and my broken in heart. You laughed when I missed the stool by a mile. Said, careful cowboy, that's a hard way down. I was hooked in a heartbeat, hooked on that smile, like you lit up the darkest bar in this town. Love hit me like a back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat. Windows down, your hair in the wind, every little mile pulling me in. If this is all I ever get to keep, you in that sundress, bare feet on my seat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat and your front seat kiss. Oh yeah. We threw our names with a pocket knife deep in that oak by the fishing hole bin. You said maybe this is just a summertime thing. I said, girl, I hope summer never ends. You stole my hat and you ran through the field, kicking up dust where the fireflies spin. I swear the sky leaned closer to hear every small sink you let me in. Love hit me like a back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat. Windows down, you laugh in the dark, dashboard glowing like a falling star. If this is all I ever get to keep, you in that sundress, bare feet on my seat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat and your front seat kiss. Met your mama over pot roast and prayer. Your daddy stared holes clear through my shirt. Asked what I wanted with his stubborn wild girl. I said everything, sir, for better or worse. You squeezed my knee under that old pine table, I saying thank you and don't you dare run. I'd walk through every smaller town whisper just to be your foolish faithful one. I've been broke, I've been burned, thought I was done taking turns, but your hand in mine made a long life feel like mine to learn. Love hit me like a back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat. Windows down, the radio low, 2-lane faith in the way we go. If this is all I ever get to keep, you humming along off key, off beat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat and your front seat kiss. We've had late night fights in the kitchen light, bills stacked high on the countertop. Slammed a few doors, said things we regret, swore we were done, then we never quite stopped. Cause you come back wearing my old shirt, I still red but your pride laid down. You say I still choose you in the hurt, and that simple truth shakes this whole old town. There was rain in the forecast the day we got hitched, but the clouds held back till we said I do. Your grandpa cried, preacher's voice broke, I just kept staring at the light on you. We danced in mud when the sky gave in, your veil stuck wet to your laughing face. Every storm since then when the thunder begins, I remember that first wild holy rain. Love holds on like a back road heartbeat, steady through the bumps and the hard-packed heat. Windows fogged, your hand on the glass, tracing out names as the seasons pass. If this is all I ever get to keep, your sleepy smile and our kids in the back seat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat and your front seat kiss. Now there's crayons crushed in the floorboard dust, little boots kicked off by the door. You're humming soft in the hallway glow, rocking our youngest till her breathing slows. I catch your eyes above his little head, same wild girl from that smoky bar. Met you by the ice machine, dusty pumps at 17.
You were buying cherry coke, laughing at your own bad jokes. Sunburn on my farmer's tan. You said nice truck, I said hop in if you ain't got plans. You said guess I'm in love. It's that back road kind of forever, hand in mine through any weather. From red clay ruts to some tux and a white dress. Yeah, this wild heart slow dance feeling got me spun out to the ceiling. If this is love, then I ain't scared to confess. Back road kind of forever, I ain't settling for less. We missed the county fair that night, took the long way, lost the light. Parked out by the old state line, radio low, you were all I could find. Fireflies in a mason jar, your bare feet on my dash. You traced your name across my arm, said, boy, don't you let this pass. It's that back road kind of forever, hand in mine through any weather. From red clay ruts to some tux and a white dress. Yeah, this wild heart slow dance feeling got me spun out to the ceiling. If this is love, then I ain't scared to confess. Back road kind of forever, I ain't settling for less. Years roll by like mile mark signs, cheap perfume and cheap red wine. Apart on the couch, late night news. We were broke, just paying dues. You work doubles, I work nights. We make coffee, our best friend. I'd kiss your hand beneath the lights and swear this grind would end. Every bill, every fight, every wrong turn turned out right. Cause you stayed, I stayed too. What else could I do? For that back road kind of forever, hand in mine through any weather. From red clay ruts to some tux and a white dress. Yeah, this wild heart slow dance feeling got me spun out to the ceiling. If this is love, then I ain't scared to confess. Back road kind of forever, I ain't settling for less. And then came tiny cowboy boots, left beside the front door mat. Smiling face and Sunday suits. You said think he's got your laugh. We traded bars for baseball games, late night drives for pillow forts. You braided hair, I called out plays. We found joy in the small reports. Every dad, every mom, little scribbles on the wall. Every mess, every tear pulled our hearts near. It's that back road kind of forever, family choir singing together. From red clay ruts to a house full of loud kids. Yeah, this wild heart slow dance feeling, now it's four hearts at the ceiling. If this is love, I'm glad we never called it quits. Back road kind of forever, yeah, I'm all in for this. And yeah, one day we'll be rocking chairs, sunset in your silver hair, wrinkled hands and reading glasses, laughing at those reckless pasts. So say, can you believe that girl who climbed into that dusty truck? I'll say best wrong turn in the world. You smile, guess we pushed our love. Oh yeah, for that back road kind of forever, hand in mine through failing weather. From red clay ruts to the tremble in our knees. Yeah, this wild heart slow dance feeling still comes back, hits me reeling. If this is love, I'll take it on my tired feet. Back road kind of forever, you still make my life complete. And if I go before you do, don't you cry for long, my dear. Turn the key, chase something new. Feel the wind erase your fear. But when that gravel hums just right and the sky burns soft and low, know I'm riding with you tonight. In that cab you ain't alone. Zip. to that small town wedded, hair pinned up but your heart half gone. Said you came for the free champagne, not to watch two kids hang on. I was leaning on the back pew laughing, boots too loud on the old wood floor. You rolled your eyes when I tipped my hat, still you didn't walk out the door. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, your picture on my dash, your name's in the sand. You were just passing through, I was stuck in this land. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Oh, look where we stand. You said love was a burned out porch light, moths and bad choices gathered there. I said love was a dime of coffee, stronger when somebody cared. We split fries in that vinyl booth, stayed till they stacked the chairs. You stirred sugar in that midnight cup like you were counting on your prayers. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, you're coating my truck, you're dressing my band. You were set on the road, I was tied to this land. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Baby, I never had a plan. Your mama called me trouble in denim, your daddy just stared at my tires. Said a man who's always chasing the horizon leaves a trail of quiet fires. I stood there on your gravel driveway, hands empty, heart too full. Said, sir, I ain't much on talking, but I'll do the long hard pull. You reached for my fingers like you always do when you're scared. Every storm that's ever hit this town felt smaller when you were there. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, two chairs on the porch, one promise we'd plan. You were scared to believe, I was scared I'd just stand. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Yeah, we both took a stand. We had a fight about the bills of winter. He said low and the night said long. You said love don't pay these meters, I said love still writes a song. You threw my old flannel at me, said I'm tired of being strong. I wrapped it round your shaking shoulder, said it's alright to feel wrong. You cried into my faded collar, mumbled, what if this all falls through? I whispered, every time the world feels small, it gets bigger when I hold you. We fell asleep to a ticking furnace, moonlight on the hallway floor. Woke up tangled in the quiet truth, we weren't fighting anymore. There was dust on my boots, gold on your hand, past two notes on the fridge, big dreams in the pan. You were doubting the map, I was drawing our land, but there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. We keep doing what we can. Spring came up through the cracks in the driveway, dandelions where the snow had been. You laughed at the weeds like old friends, said look how they still get in. We planted a row of stubborn roses right by that leaning fence. You said if they can bloom in this hard red clay, maybe love can just make sense. Your hair pulled back in a red bandana, hands covered in dirt and rain. I thought if I lose every acre I've got, I still can't afford your pain. Now there's dust on my boots, gold on your hand, you laugh in the yard, you ring like a brand. You were testing the soil, I was learning in a stand. Now there's dust on my boots and gold on your hand. Oh, this rough little land, 4th of July on the football bleachers, hand-me-down fire in the sky. You leaned in. You walked in, boots loud on that old pine floor, sun swinging in behind you like it had been there before. You laughed once, made the jukebox skip a beat, spilled a little of your drink right there on my torn up seat. You said that your truck out there by the leanest sign. I said, yeah, she's old but faithful, kinda like this heart of mine. You smiled slow, said faithful's hard to find these days. I swear time downshifted while you traced your glass that way. Gas tank half, heart full, you and me in this long dirt road. got your hand on my shoulder, headlight halo on your face. If this is all I ever get, I don't need another place. Gas tank half, heart full, I got enough to love you all the way. We pulled out, radio stuck on some old song. You sang the words half wrong, but you sang them big and strong. Yeah, you did. You kicked off both boots on the dashboard bare, when tangled up your hair like it had a right to be there. You said don't drive straight, let's get a little bit lost. Take the turns that look stupid, chase the lines that get crossed. I said, girl, you're trouble. You said, yeah, I've heard that one, but your fingers found my knuckles, and trouble never felt this fun. Gas tank half, heart full, you and me in this long dirt road. Every mile, every dust cloud, writing stories we ain't told. Got your hand on my shoulder, headlight halo on your face. If this is all I ever get, I don't need another place. Gas tank half, heart full, I got enough to love you all the way. We hit that little bridge where the creek runs thin. You said kill the lights a minute, let the quiet pour in. We listened to the frogs and the ticking heat. You slid across that cracked bench seat till your head fit my heartbeat. You told me about the town that you left last June, the promise you thought you'd broken when you walked away too soon. Your voice shook when you said, I ain't good to stay. I said, girl, I ain't perfect, but I'm hella finding ways to fix what's bent, patch what's torn, keep us rolling through the storm. Yeah, the bed of this truck is hauled every kind of load. I got room for all your baggage, we can spread it down this road. Come on. Gas tank half, heart full, you and me in this long dirt road. Every mile, every dust cloud, writing stories we ain't told. Got your hand on my shoulder, headlight halo on your face. If this is all I ever get, I don't need another place. Gas tank half, heart full, I got enough to love you all the way. Maybe love ain't some big fire, maybe it's a slow burn. Maybe it's the way you laugh every time we miss a turn. Maybe it's your jacket on my back when nights get cold, the way you bite your lip when you're scared of getting old. It's your name on my receipts, coffee cups and folded notes. It's every tiny Tuesday that keeps me afloat. Years later, same bar, same scuffed up floor. Your boots a little more faded, kids, crayons on the door. You walk in, balancing pizza and car keys. I still lose my words like you knocked them out of me. There's a picture on the wall of our first night, my old truck in the background, tailgate full of fireflies. We traded some dirt roads for mortgage lines, but you still steal my hat when I got it mown. Oh, come on. Pouring cheap beer in a hole in the wall, Saturday tips in a crooked glass jar. I was 3 long days and from an overtime week, dust on my boots and my broken leaning heart. You laugh when I missed a stool by a mile, said, careful cowboy, that's a hard way down. I was hooked in a heartbeat, hooked on that smile like you'd lit up the darkest bar in this town. Love hit me like a back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat, windows down, your hair in the wind, heartbeat in your front seat kiss. Oh yeah. We threw our names with a pocket knife deep in that oak by the fishing hole bend. You said maybe this is just a summertime thing. I said, girl, I hope summer never ends. You stole my hat and you ran through the field, kicking up dust where the fireflies spin. I swear the sky leaned closer to hear every small secret. You let me in a back road heartbeat thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat. Windows down, your laugh in the dark, dashboard glowing like a falling star. If this is all I ever get to keep you in that sundress, bare feet on my seat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat in your front seat kiss. Pot roast and prayer. Your daddy stared holes clear through my shirt, asked what I wanted with his stubborn wild girl. I said everything, sir, for better or worse. You squeezed my knee under that old pine table. I say and thank you and don't you dare run. I'd have walked through every small town whisper just to be your foolish faithful one. I've been broke, I've been burned, thought I was done taking turns, but your hand in mine made a long life feel like mine to learn. Love hit me like a back road heartbeat thumping in my chest on a ragged old seat. Windows down, the radio low, two-lane faith in the way we go. If this is all I ever get to keep you humming along off key, off beat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat in your front seat kiss. Hey! We've had late night fights in the kitchen light, bills stacked high on the countertop. Slammed a few doors, said things we regret. Swore we were done, then we never quite stopped. Cause you come back wearing my old shirt, I still red, but your pride laid down. You say I still choose you in the hurt, and that simple truth shakes this whole old town. There was rain in the forecast the day we got hitched, but the clouds held back till we said I do. Your grandpa cried, preacher's voice broke, I just kept staring at the light on you. We danced in mud when the sky gave in, your veil stuck web to your laughing face. Every storm since then when the thunder begins, I remember that first wild holy rain. Love holds on like a back road heartbeat, steady through the bumps and the hard-packed heat. Windows fogged, your hand on the glass, tracing our names as the seasons pass. If this is all I ever get to keep you sleeping, smiling, our kids in the backseat, then darling, I don't need a thing but this back road heartbeat in your front seat kiss. Now this crayon's crushed in the floorboard dust, little boots kicked off by the door. You're humming soft in the hallway glow, rocking our youngest till her breathing slows. I catch your eyes above his little head, same wild girl from that smoky bar.
Sunrise, painting the sky, another day dawn. Empty coffee cup, just like my heart was before you walked in. Kicked up dust and home. to the dry corn stumps. You used to hear nothing, just a lonely howl. Now a melody, a steady humming. And yeah, love, it's a wild thing. Love, a desert blue. Love, how to hold on. Love, but worth the fight. My hands rough and warm from years of digging for something. Never knew what it was till your eyes met mine. A sudden downfall. They said it wouldn't last. This kind of fire, too hot, too fast. Gonna burn it up quick, but that ain't on no west. Don't know this You pouring coffee at the Flying J, name on your tag said ain't your rate. You laughed when I asked if you believed in fate, said only when it shows up early, never late. Boots on towel, rain on the diesel tanks, your hair tucked up in that ball cat. Thanks for the extra cream and the second glance, for the quiet maybe in a stranger's chance. You're the backroads of my heart, girl, the long way home I always take. Every mile, every fence line, every wrong turn that I make leads me right back to your front porch, to your bare feet on that old pine floor. You're the backroads of my heart, girl. I ain't searching anymore. First day Friday at the county fair, you said I hate crowds, but you met me there. Grease on our fingers from a paper plate, you stole my fries, said boy you're late. Ferris wheel shaking when it reached the top, you grabbed my arm, said please don't stop. Your eyes found mine in the carnival light, I forgot every heartbreak I'd had that night. You're the back roads of my heart, girl, the long way home I always take. Every mile, every fence line, every wrong turn that I make leads me right back to your front porch, to your bare feet on that old pine floor. You're the back roads of my heart, girl. I ain't searching anymore. Summer bled into September gold, truck bed blankets when the nights turn cold. You traced your name in the window fog, said promise me we won't get lost in the fog. I showed you the spot where the river bands, where Daddy used to fish with his old best friends. You listened quiet when my voice turned raw, then kissed the hurt out of every scar you saw. I'd been running from town to town, from one half smile to the next let down. You said, sit still, boy, I feel that wind. Some things you don't outrun, you let them in. You're the back roads of my heart, girl. The long way home I always take. Every mile, every fence line, every wrong turn that I make leads me right back to your front porch, to your bare feet on that old pine floor. You're the back roads of my heart, girl. I ain't searching anymore. We bought that house with the leaning shed, peeling paint in a rusted bed. You laughed, said Vegas is just like us, a little run down, but it's worth the trust. You planted roses by the mailbox post, hung our pictures where we needed them most, handwritten notes on the fridge door glass. Take the trash out and please let the small things pass. Love ain't fireworks in a summer sky, it's tissues in the sink and the reasons why you stay when the storms roll over the roof. It's saying I'm sorry before you have the proof. We fall like thunder on a Tuesday night. You slam that door, I killed the light. I slipped sideways on the edge of the bed, stubborn pride where your warmth once spread. Sun came up on a mess of pride, two mugs, one note.